Other studies, the way international communities would accept clinical studies be designed. Now that involves a lot of money, that involves a lot of manpower. And I think that the international community, if they're well-meaning, should assist him in doing that.
The Minister of Health who wakes up in the morning has malaria devastating his people, AIDS devastating his people, road traffic accidents, or just survival, poverty, not having food. It becomes quite difficult. It becomes a challenge, but it's a sad challenge. It's sad because the rest of the world can do so much to reduce it. I'm not an economist, but somebody once told me, I hope it's true, that if you take 1%, at least less than 5% of the gross natural product of our planet and redistribute it, you will cure poverty everywhere.
When a child asks for curiosity, who brought AIDS to Cameroon, or where did AIDS come from, I just take the time to explain to the child how the AIDS virus was discovered. If, as the papers say that it was discovered in America, that is because the science there is a lot more advanced. They went to the laboratory faster. Just the same like they are going to the moon regularly. They can be going to go and spend the weekends in the moon now. Cameroonians have not yet started going to the moon. You want to know my opinion about how I feel about AIDS? But HIV/AIDS, I'm very confident and I'm not afraid of the disease. Why am I not afraid of the disease? I think that for what I've seen done by the professor, I have the impression that AIDS is a disease like every other disease, and that it is just a matter of time for science to understand, for science to be understood, and for the people that take decisions to understand that there is a vaccine on the way and there are means of finding a permanent solution to this disease.
Now, the question that we can ask is, how good is Ranivax? I think that's the question that remains to be answered. I'm thoroughly convinced that Ranivax is good, but the question is, how good is it? And that's really the important question. How good is it? It's sort of a question that wants you to ask, should we adopt it? Are we missing out on an opportunity to try it on many populations? What can we do to help him develop it?
So what do we require to do to make it known? Well, I hope, like so many things in life, if the time has not come, people will not accept it. When the time comes, everybody will accept it. Then everybody will say, but why did you wait so long? That's what I think will happen. I would say that if I got to be very pessimistic, I would say that the time of Ranivax has not come yet, but it's coming. It's going to come. And I don't see how they can stop it.
Having said that, I think I would conclude by saying that I totally believe in what he's doing, and I think that it has some value, and it's up to us, the scientific community, to lay down triviality and be able to move this to a reasonable point where the rest of the world can benefit.
They could find out. And there is no harm in coming to the clinic and finding out what is being done and what can be done and the results, and get proper first-hand information about it. Information is right.
Prophet Abraham once asked God, where do these diseases come from? Then Abraham said, God said, the diseases come from me. He said, the diseases come from you? Now, where do the treatment or the medicines come from? God said, the medicines come from me. He said, the diseases come from you, the medicines come from you. Now, where is the place of the doctor? Then God answered Abraham by saying, the doctor is the person through whom I channel the treatment.
HIV will be something that probably one day we'll be looking at it as just any other disease, and while really on earth, not from our graves. I think so.
This whole process and this whole story about Anomago is a lesson for all of humanity, and probably a bad lesson, and hopefully a lesson that will lead us to a different horizon.
Truth is like a light which you can't put it on and hide it under a bushel, because the rays will always come out and people will see. So for anything light, you have to put it on the table so everybody can see, because you can't hide those rays.
Alright. I've given you a lot of trade secrets which you can, because I think I'm going to die soon one of these days, and someone might use it and use the information. Alright. You're welcome. I didn't call it today.
Fue el ritmo acompañado de danza. Todo era más sencillo. Vivíamos en equilibrio. Nuevo comienzo, respira la tierra. Nuevo comienzo, respira la humanidad. Nuevo comienzo, nueva esperanza. Nuevo comienzo. Abre tus ojos, es el momento. No le des los restos. Vivamos en armonía. Despertar llenos de alegría. Nuevo comienzo.